So I think a piece of advice for somebody coming into the Canadian context and working with Canadian older adults is to, if you've had an experience of an older person in your own life, a close neighbor, a beloved aunt or uncle or grandparent, continue to see that person in the person that you're seeing, and imagine how you would interact with that person, your aunt or uncle or granny, if she was lying in the bed in front of you, or if that's the person you were trying to help to get around their home or feed or whatever you're trying to do. So I think we often think of old people as very different from us, and we don't know how to talk to them or touch them, or we're afraid they're going to fall or break or something. But we don't feel that way about our loved ones. We know how to talk to them, and we know how to touch them and to help them. And so if we could transfer some of those skills that we have innately from working with the people we love to working with people whom we see as patients, I think we'd be much more successful. And what I think we know about Canadian society is that it tends to be quite compartmentalized, that unlike in a fully integrated life, we tend to work in one place, live in another, socialize in a third, do our physical fitness in a space that you go to do your physical fitness in. I don't want to idealize some kind of primitive, old agrarian society where we all lived in happiness together and worked and played. But we do, I think sociologists agree that Western society tends to be quite compartmentalized. And oddly, we seem to have not found a clear integrated role for older people in that highly compartmentalized society. Maybe it's because of the consumerist, capitalist nature of our society, that once you lose the ability to generate profit or capital, then your social value is lost. I don't know. But there is this idea that older people kind of get streamed out of the mainstream. And my observation of many other cultures is that just isn't the case, that from cradle to grave, all segments of a society tend to be more integrated, and each segment of the society is seen to be bringing value to the society as a whole. So I think that's something that people find quite surprising looking at North American or Canadian culture, when looking at it from the outside of where did all the old people go? They're not in the workforce because we're getting better at this, but through economic necessity, we're getting better at it. But we have, told people that they had to stop working at 65, even though they didn't want to stop working at 65, and even though they were in their most productive period of their life. So we've streamed them out of the workforce, and we live quite isolated lives, and so family members are often living separate from their older family members, so they're not even integrated into the nuclear family. And I think people visiting or coming into Canadian society find that strange, because it is quite different from the culture that they may have come from. In Canada, we've kind of done things differently and segmentalized and compartmentalized all age groups. I think we should remember that we actually have a model in Canada for respecting and integrating older people, and that is our First Nations people. And so I think we have got a lot to learn from how older people are integrated into First Nations communities, and how they continue to be referred to as the elders, in the sense not just of the old people, but actually the people who have a respected and directing voice within the community to whom you look for direction and guidance. I think it is rarely the case that First Nations people abandon or shut out or shut down their older people, and I think we could all learn quite a lot from that.